Hi, welcome back. In today's video, we would like to do handling multiple exceptions. We would like to write a program that takes an index, for example, from the user, and accesses a list at that index and handles both index error and value error. Okay, so here is my list. It has 4 elements. This one index is 0, this one index is 1, this one index is 2, and this one index is 3. So we are having 4 elements from 0 to 3 is the indexing of this list. Then we are asking the user to enter index. Okay, so whatever the user is going to enter, it is going to store in index variable, and then we are showing this element of that index. So we say value at index. For example, imagine the user enters number 1. Now 1 is stored in the index variable. Then we say value at index, and then we show that index of the list. So the indexing in this list is here because we start from 0. It's like this. Okay, so when we type down index 1, so 1 is stored in index variable, then we're calling that index from the my list. Okay, so it's like I am calling the my list and then with index 1, and index 1 is element 20. So we're going to print the value 20 in the output. However, if we type any index apart from these ones, we are having index error, okay, because it's out of range. So we are going to show this message in the output, index out of range. Why? Because we are having only these 4 indices. If I type down index, for example, 10, it is going to raise an error, and the error is index error type. And also, if instead of typing down a number, I type down a character, for example, we're going to have an value error. And we are going to, if value error is caught, we are going to show this message in the output, and error, enter a valid number. So let me run the code one time. It says enter index. So I type down 1. So it is saying that value at index 1 is 20. This is number 20 is shown in the output. You see it here. And so 1 was stored in the index variable. Then we are using the print function to print this number 20, which is the element of the my list with index 1. However, when I run the code one more time, if it asks me to enter index and I type down, for example, number 10, and we see that in this list, we have no element that has an index of 10. So it's an index error. It's out of range. So we are going to throw an exception. So the compiler is going to throw an exception of index error. And thanks to the try except block, we are not having our program being crashed, and we are showing this message, error, index out of range. So we understand, okay, there was a problem. So if the user comes to us and say, okay, you programmed this for me, and now instead of showing me, for example, the number that I'm looking for from the list, it is saying that index out of range. And right away, I understand, okay, there is a problem in the input that you are entering, okay? So we can understand and debug the program quite easily using try and except index handling exception. So when I run the code one more time, it asks me to enter index. And this time, I don't want to enter, for example, an index. I would like to type down a character, for example, by mistake, if the user is going to enter K. When I type down K and I enter, it's a value error that the compiler understands. Why? Because we were supposed to enter an integer, but we didn't do it. We typed down a character, so it's a value error. Therefore, it is going to raise an exception, and this is called by the value error block, and it is going to show this message, enter a valid number. So you see it here, error, enter a valid number. It is shown in the output. So for example, if I type down index 3, for example, it is showing value at index 3 is 40, which is this number. And this is exactly true because the index 3 is for the element 40. So in this video, we learned, first of all, how to handle multiple exceptions, and also we learned how to work with the program in a way to avoid having index error as well. Thank you for watching.